And if you do it right, it can mean the difference between winning and losing a case. If you do it wrong, it can cost you a case. So good, solid, well done documentation is very important when it comes time to defend a lawsuit. Documentation needs to be done well. It needs to be well written. It needs to be simple and understandable. It needs to tell a story. Whether it's a performance review or disciplinary documentation, it needs to tell a story of the employee's interaction within the company, how well they're doing, how poorly they're doing, what they need to improve on, and it needs to be honest and straightforward. I think the single biggest mistake we see is with the performance review system, where people are just lazy about doing it and it's not done well, where the feedback isn't honest. It's let's get through this and get it done. So you have numbers, you have check boxes checked, but you don't have good solid comments. It's not a description of the employee's performance. If you get sued, you're always going to have to pay me no matter what. Win or lose or draw, you have to pay me. But if you lose, you've got to pay damages. Sometimes there's exemplary damages. You've got costs. And for most of these civil rights statutes, when you lose, you pay for the plaintiff's lawyer too. So this stuff can be really important and very expensive if you're not doing it right. I want you to be honest. Honest in what you do, honest in what you document. And by honest, I mean honest, which means if an employee's not performing, you have to tell them they're not performing. And you have to tell them in a way that's understandable and straightforward. You don't have to be brutal. You don't have to be mean, but you've got to be honest. Nobody likes to give people bad news. So things tend to get a little sugar-coated, or the effort's not put in. Maybe you have a manager who's not being judged. He's being judged on how many widgets he makes, not on how well his performance reviews are done. So that's something that gets put to the side, isn't done well. Disciplinary documentation is kind of rushed through. There's not enough emphasis on doing it well and the consequences if you don't. I don't think it's lazy or anything. It's just a lack of focus on getting things right. What is the supervisor's job? It's not to make widgets. It's to help other people be efficient so they can make widgets. And this is one of the ways we do that. It is important, and you need to do it. You need to concentrate on it. You need to teach people how to do it well. It's great to have these computerized performance review tools and all that stuff, but if you haven't taught a supervisor how to give feedback, if you haven't taught a supervisor how to talk to an employee, if you haven't taught them the right way to communicate criticism constructively, no matter what your tools look like, the end result isn't going to be good. So concentrate your efforts on making sure your people understand the hows and not just the forms.